If your lawn is patchy, thin, full of weeds, brown in spots no matter what you spray on it, here is the part nobody on a lawn care subscription will tell you. The problem almost certainly is not your grass. It is the soil underneath it. And no fertilizer, no weed killer, no monthly visit fixes soil. They feed the blade and ignore the root, which is exactly why the same problems come back every single season. By the end of this video, I will walk you through the same soil amendment sequence that golf course superintendents and university turf programs actually use to turn an ugly lawn around, step by step, using a soil test and a few inexpensive materials. And the full zone-by-zone plan is inside the Forbidden Lawn Code, this week for less than the cost of one professional visit. The link is the first one in the description. But first, let me be honest with you about something because it matters. A lot of lawn videos promise you an emerald lawn in 21 days. I'm not going to do that. Real soil correction takes weeks to months, not days. Anyone who tells you a bag of product turns your soil around by next week is selling you the same short-term fix that got your lawn into this state. What I am giving you is the real timeline and the real sequence. It is slower. It also actually works. Here's the truth about why most lawns stay ugly. Most lawn problems start in the soil. Heavy clay, compacted ground, poor drainage, or the wrong acidity. The University of Illinois Extension puts it plainly. Determining the cause of the lawn decline is the first step. And many lawn problems originate from poor soil conditions. If you skip that step, you are guessing. And guessing is what keeps you buying product after product. So step one, before you spend a single dollar on amendments, is a soil test. By the way, one thing worth saying here, the people who get real results are almost always the ones who tested first. The ones who stay frustrated are the ones who threw lime or sulfur or fertilizer at the lawn because a neighbor said it worked on theirs. Soil is local. Your test is the only honest map you have. Anyway, a soil test costs around $15 to $30 through your local extension office, and it tells you the two things that decide everything: your soil pH and your organic matter level. Most turfgrass thrives at a pH between 6 and 7. That is the range where the grass can actually absorb the nutrients you give it. Outside that range, you can fertilize all you want, and the nutrients stay locked up where the roots cannot reach them. That is why a pale, weak lawn often has nothing to do with how much you feed it. Now, before I go on, I want to stop for a moment and tell you why I built a full guide for this, and who it is for. There's a real difference between a video and a system. In this video, I can give you the sequence and the science. What I cannot give you in 10 minutes is the exact amount of lime or sulfur for your specific soil texture, your climate zone, your grass type, and your test numbers. That is what the Forbidden Lawn Code is. It is a written plan that takes your soil test results and turns them into a month-by-month schedule, with the climate zone calendars, the amendment rate tables, and a compost and aeration plan for clay, sandy, and loam soils. The full guide, with the zone calendars and the amendment rate tables, is the first link in the description. This week, for less than the price of one professional lawn visit. And if it does not help you, there's a 90-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked. That is an entire growing season to try it. You carry no risk. Now, back to the actual method, because the next part is where most people go wrong. Step 2 is correcting pH, and only if your test tells you to. If your soil is too acidic, you raise the pH with lime. Purdue turfgrass. Science is direct about this. Do not apply lime unless it is recommended, because many soils under turf do not need it, and your soil test report calculates the right amount for you. If your soil is too alkaline, you lower the pH with elemental sulfur. But here's the catch nobody mentions. On an established lawn, you can only apply about 5 pounds of sulfur per 1,000 square feet at a time, and no more than 10 pounds in a year, or you risk burning the grass. And here's the honesty part again. Both lime and sulfur are slow. Iowa State notes elemental sulfur needs 3 to 6 months of warm soil to work. On a heavily buffered clay soil, lowering pH can take years, not weeks. So if your test shows a stubborn pH, the smarter move is often to feed around it and pick grass that tolerates your soil, rather than fighting the chemistry forever. That is a real trade-off, and I would rather you hear it from me than waste a season. Step 3 is the one that actually rebuilds soil, and it is the most overlooked. Organic matter. This is where ugly lawns truly turn around. The University of Maryland Extension recommends that if your test shows less than 3% organic matter, you add compost. And the single best way to get it into the soil is to pair it with core aeration. Clemson Extension explains why. Core aeration first, top dressing with compost second, so the organic matter has direct access into the soil profile through the holes. Let me give you the practical sequence because the order matters. First, core aerate when the soil is moist but firm, in spring or fall when the grass is actively growing, never in the heat of summer and never when the ground is soggy. The machine pulls small plugs, opening the compacted soil. Second, Spread a thin layer of compost, no more than 1/4 to 1/2 inch at a time. Penn State is specific here. A thin 1/4 inch layer, worked in, pile it on too thick, and you smother the grass and create a crust that repels water, which is the opposite of what you want. Third, drag a mat across the lawn to break up the cores and work the compost down into the holes. That single operation does more for a struggling lawn than a year of fertilizer. It improves drainage and clay. It helps sandy soil hold water and nutrients, and it feeds the soil microbiology that grass depends on. Clemson notes compost top dressing improves soil structure, holds onto nutrients so you need less fertilizer, and can even help suppress disease. Step 4, and only now, is seed and feed. Once the soil is open and the organic matter is in, that is the moment to overseed thin areas because the seed finally has somewhere good to root. Do it right after aeration so the seed falls into the holes. This is the reverse of what most frustrated homeowners do. They seed and fertilize first onto hard, dead soil and wonder why nothing takes. So, let me put it together. The reason a subscription program never fixes your lawn is not a conspiracy. It is just the business model. A spray visit treats the surface and bills you again next month. None of those visits test your soil, correct your pH, or build your organic matter because those are one-time fixes you only pay for once. There is no recurring revenue in actually solving the problem. That is not evil. It is just not aligned with what your lawn needs. And the math is simple. A professional visit runs around $50 to $60, and an annual program can run $400 to over $1,000 every year for as long as you own the house. The soil work I just described is mostly a one-time investment of a soil test, a bag or 2 of amendment, a rented aerator for an afternoon, and some compost. Do it once, correctly, and you maintain it for a fraction of what you were paying. Here's what I want you to picture. One path, you test your soil this month, aerate and top dress this season, and by next year you're standing on a lawn that holds its color through the summer with a fraction of the inputs. The other path, you close this video, the truck comes out next month, charges you again, sprays the same surface, and a year from now the lawn looks exactly the same and the money is gone. Both are real. You choose which one. If you want the exact amounts for your soil and your zone, the complete plan with the climate calendars and the amendment tables is the first link in the description with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Less than one professional visit, and it replaces them instead of repeating them. This knowledge does not belong to the lawn care industry. It belongs to the homeowners who decided to fix the soil instead of renting the problem. If that is you, subscribe to this channel so we can keep putting it out.